Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we have another replay sent in by Ignu Likes You from the Ace 1 clan. This guy has featured a few times on my channel and there's a reason for that. His replays are absolutely phenomenal. The results that this guy pulls in are incredible. And that's why we're going to show them. And the reason I'm showing you this one is because he's in the very, very new, paint's barely dried, the K1 Era 3 Premium Heavy. Now he plays mouse and keyboard, and the advantage with mouse and keyboard is you've got I'd say increased situational awareness, because you can move the camera around so much quicker with mouse and keyboard than you can with a controller. You could technically do it on a controller, but then you'd lose the very fine accurate shots because the sensitivity would just be too high. So he's using mouse and keyboard, and he is, well, I don't know what to say at this point really. He's just a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal player. And he didn't get the memo that this is a mediocre tank. Clearly, and even if he did, he doesn't care. So let's watch this through. So what's he got here? He's got his 19 degrees of gun depression, first of all. Decent turret armor. He's got the distraction of a weasel sitting right next to him, which is it's always helpful to have a distraction. I think everybody would agree with that. But the Merkava 2B, the weakness is the lower plate, which is enormous, and he was trying to fight downhill. Ignu's got 90 degrees of gun depression. That fight was always going to be a defeat for the 2B. Well, he stayed, and it was a defeat. If he'd driven off, could have been different. But he didn't. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And now we move on to... what have we got here? We've got a 490. He's being shot in the rear as well. He does have support. Quick snap around with the mouse just to... and that's what I mean by quick situational awareness. Just quickly snap to find out where the shot came from. AMX-32 has been very aggressive. Weasel is still here as a distraction, which is decent. Don't know what the AMX-32 was thinking there. Maybe, well, overestimated their ability to take on the situation. Gun depression letting him down a little bit there with that previous shot. That shot finds the cupola of... I didn't see what that was. Was that a 7C? I think it might be a 7C. But now we've got the 490 in front of us, shot into the side. Which, you know, if you're going to pen a 490, that the side is where you're going to do it. The 490 should be nose on, ideally. Because then you can, well, use the frontal armor and not expose the lower plate, which... In all fairness, even if you do try and not expose your lower plate in this scenario, the K1's got 90 degrees of gun depression. It will find your lower plate. You're not going to beat it fighting downhill. That's one thing to keep in mind with the K1. I don't think you'll ever beat it fighting downhill. So the T-72B drives out sideways, which is very, very nice again, but Ignu does have enemy team. The enemy team is now behind him. There's a tank destroyer behind him. I didn't see what it was. He's way too rapid with the camera movement there for me to catch that. He's got team in front of him, enemy team in front of him, enemy team behind him. So he makes the push. The T-72B fluffs this a little bit by showing his side a little too much. Shot through the front there. Yeah, T-72B is bottom of the pile. I can understand that. 490 is distracted, which again is helpful. Ignu's team pushed around this flank, which means he wasn't having to fight two flanks at the same time. And we catch a breather. Oh, no we don't. The Leclerc shows up. And the Weasel ghost round there. Don't know where that went. That went straight through the Weasel and out the other side, doing no damage. That shot didn't, though. That finds its mark. Now another Mag-X-7C showed up behind to his team. Again, he's got a teammate that's very, very aware of what's going on. That looks like an MBT-70, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. Mag-X-7C is distracted. Doesn't put a shot out into the side of Ignu, which he could have done there, unless he was reloading. And he's now dead. Wow. This game has been non-stop action. Just over 13,000 damage there. The Leclerc is on 15 hit points, so he's lost everything in the space of, well, the time it took to take out the 7C. Game's not over though. 5-4. Leclerc has gone. Very quick looking around here. We've got the Marder, the 1A1, 1A3, sorry, and well, he's literally driven into a corner. He was not going to make it out of that one. And finally now, we've got... Well, not finally. The Weasel takes a hit. I'm noticing Weasels are playing a lot differently now. The only thing that's happened to the Weasel is its ram damage has changed. The rest of the vehicle is the same, but I am noticing Weasels... Like earlier, the Weasel was trying to brawl. And that Weasel has... Well, they've escaped now, but they drove forward down the hill. I would have reversed back into the castle and just completely disappeared. Anyway. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. What have we got left then? We have... Is this another Leclerc? Yep, this is another Leclerc. And they're not going to last that long. Let's be honest. Nah. Facing the wrong way. Ram, tracked, shot in the back. Dead. And now... we find ourselves hunting... Well, I want to say hunting a Weasel. Not really hunting a Weasel. The Weasel's come to join the party down here. Leads the shot very nicely. And the MBT-70 takes out the Weasel with its autocannon. That was a rapid game. That was a 16,219 damage in the K1. Wow. And he doesn't even have a fully skilled crew. He's got 1.5 million XP on the final crew. They're still grinding it. That means he's got 8 skills on this crew. Not even the full 9. Wow. What an unbelievable result. Ignu, thank you for sending that one in. And thank you for showing the world that a mediocre tank can in fact perform at a very, very high level. Well played, sir. Alright guys, that's all I've got for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.